Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of FA Live. This is our first episode of the year, so I am going to say Happy New Year, even though it is already January 28th. I know I'm a little late, but this is our first episode, so I'm so happy to have everyone back for, again, another great year of FA Live. I have so many great topics queued up for us this year. I have an amazing, group of guests that are going to join me over the course, next couple of months. So our first group is a great group. And today we are talking about National Mentorship Month. Again, I know we're near the end of the month, but we're still going to talk about it because it's super important, not only to the four of us on today's episode, but to First Advantage as a whole company. So I am so excited to have this group on the phone with me here today. So I'm going to go ahead and let all of them introduce themselves to you. So I will start with Matt. Can you go ahead and introduce yourself to our audience?
Absolutely, and thanks for having me today. So my name is Matt McGregor. I'm the Director of Education and Nonprofit Solutions here at First Advantage. Thinking about just mentorship in general, it can have a broad impact on all the people involved. And candidly, many of my professional milestones and even some of my incremental improvements alike were achieved because I had access to a mentor. So really excited for today's discussion.
Absolutely. And thank you for joining us. Alex, you're up next. Can you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Of course. My name is Alex. I work as operations manager. I am based in Nottingham, UK. I've been with the company for nearly 6 years now. I found mentorship incredibly important to my development and growth, and I'm super excited to be here and to be able to discuss with you my journey as well.
Thank you. And last but not least, Rebecca, you're up next to introduce yourself.
Well, hello, I'm Rebecca. I'm a verifications specialist on the Hive platform here at FA First Advantage. And you've already met my amazing mentor, Alex. Thank you. I'm very excited to also be here to share my journey through the mentorship program as well.
Great. Well, thank you again to the three of you for joining me on FA Live today. Just a quick overview of what today's session will cover. We're going to talk about all of our mentorship journeys. We're going to talk about First Advantage's MAP and GMI programs, the transition from mentee to mentor, and the impact of building out your networks. So I want to open it up to the audience. If you are watching live, if you have questions for my three panelists throughout the episode, please go ahead and put them in the comment section across Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, and I will get your questions over to them as I see fit throughout the episode. But don't worry, because I have a ton of questions for them. So if you don't have them, I have them. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with our personal mentorship journey. So we're really looking to spotlight here the unique paths, experiences, and just showing that mentorship is really not one size fits all. Alex, to start with you, can you share how mentorship influenced your progression from ops specialist to supervisor to now operations manager?
Of course. So as I mentioned, I joined First Advantage around 6 years ago, and I joined as operations specialist. I was very new to the business and I was very new to the industry. And it was actually my first office job as well. So my first mentorship experience was actually an official mentorship from my line manager. He supported my development, and that's all the conversations that we had in our one-to-one calls. And he really provided me with this confidence to seek my first opportunities in the company. And then as I got my first promotion to supervisor's role, I thought I need to start taking this a little bit more seriously as well. And that's when I got involved with MAP. And really, I never looked back from there. I had the most incredible mentors, and they both taught me so much. And also they were able to influence my growth. And I do genuinely believe that they were able to influence my promotions within the company as well. And now in my role as operations manager, I become mentor myself. So it's a little bit of a full circle moment for me. But yeah, my journey with MAP really has been incredible so far.
A really great story. And we will touch on you becoming a mentor later on in the episode. But yeah, I really do appreciate the touch on the influence of your progression within your career. I think sometimes it's hard for us as individuals maybe to kind of map out our past and really understand. So when you're able to sit down to someone and talk about your strengths, areas of improvement, kind of where I see myself in 5 years, it's so much easier when you have a sounding board. So it's so great to see that you had multiple mentors help you to get you where you are today. And one of the things, Alex, you touched on was confidence. So, Rebecca, I want to come over to you for my next question on how did mentorship help you come out of your shell a little bit more and develop new communication and training skills?
Well, so really, I feel that, with the department that I'm in right now, it is amazing. This is my first at-home position where I'm not in an office. I don't have the um, connections that you would have in an office.
Mhm.
I feel that the mentorship program, with the help of Alex and her, um, how she inspires me, how she um, has given me tasks to do and to
Mhm.
complete to help me build myself personally and professionally, has brought me out of my shell, has given me resources to look outside of my little bubble behind my desk and get
Yeah.
out there, get out there and just um, learn more, develop, and grow.
Yeah. Yeah. And just right off the bat, two different stories to showcase how unique each mentor program and situation can be. Rebecca, for you, not being in an office. So, how do I come out of my shell? How do I network more and grow my network? Working with Alex specifically on that. And then Alex's story of her career path and where she wanted to go. So Matt, coming over to you, within this section, my final question around this theme, you have a long industry history here and you have a lot of, involvement with mentorship. So how has that shaped your career, both as a mentor and a mentee?
Yeah, yeah. So you know what? I'll start on the mentee side. And as I was preparing for this, I wrote down some of the people that I consider mentors. There were a lot. And what's interesting is not all of them knew it at the time. In fact, of all the people on that page, only one of them was actually a named mentor where we were in an official
Right.
program. It was others that really just leaned in and took the time to invest in me. And that's a consistent theme, is that investment. So, you know, when you think about mentorship, sometimes it's very specific, for a specific purpose, specific period of time, and you're in, you're out, and it really makes a difference. Others, they're mentors for you for years. Um, Ultimately for me, it was they took the time to guide me. They acted as guardrails. They were coaching me both figuratively and literally, and that really pushed me to take those next big steps. And I've been incredibly fortunate to have several leaders, people that I reported to directly, or maybe were a couple rungs above me, that did invest in me. And there's that word again. They were investing in me. So many things that I do today were influenced by those people that I wrote down. So my first, I guess, call out for folks is if you have somebody investing in you, take full advantage of that. When I was leading teams, I would see the things that my mentors taught me, their influence come out almost on a daily basis. And you have that realization of, oh, that came from Deborah. Oh, that came from Rod. And you see it firsthand. And it's really cool to see it come full
Yeah.
circle, as Alex mentioned. And so some of the other things, I'm not leading teams anymore, but even today, how I respond, how I take action in certain areas, that again, direct reflection on my mentors. And outside of work, I coach now, and I can see the approach that I take. Again, how I handle certain situations. I can point back to very specific people to say, yep, that came from Matt, or that came from Coach Powers. There's all these different places that it came from. And again, it was people that invested in me, and they made sure that I was progressing and prepared and supported throughout those journeys. With respect to being a mentor, I've been a named mentor in a variety of environments over the past 20 to 25 years. Each brought rewards, all brought satisfaction and candidly that really good feeling that comes from lending a hand. And in best cases, when you witness somebody achieve success and fulfill a goal, I don't know that there's anything better than that. And I think one of the pieces about mentorship is it doesn't have to be hours and hours and hours. It can be a few minutes here and there. Again, investment is investment. And if somebody's looking for direction and willing to listen, then the opportunity to be a mentor is there. And when I reflect on some of these relationships where I was the named mentor, or even non-named, but kind of acting as a guidepost or a goalpost, if you will, some of those best things are when they come back around and say, you know what, that advice you gave me, it worked. Or that thing you told me that would happen, it happened. Or just a simple thank you. Whether it's in near real time or years later, ultimately that's the good stuff. And if you can help somebody achieve a goal, I don't know that there's anything better when you can see somebody excited about achievement.
Yeah. I really love that moment when someone does come back to you and say, this happened because I heard, it was like a little voice in my head. It was you. I heard it.
Right.
Yes, I act as a mentor now for the first time. And I remember that moment that happened right away. And I was like, this is one of the best feelings, like you said, Matt. And I think it's important too, to, what you had noted, that it doesn't always have to be an official program that you are a part of. If you are noticing that someone is helping you along the way, investing in you, assisting, it doesn't have to be, okay, I'm going to sit down on paper and call you my mentor. It can be a little bit more informal, but also, yes, we do take, advantage of the formal programs too, which actually is a perfect segue into the next part where I want to talk about First Advantage's two programs. We have MAP and GMI. So let's talk about these a little bit more. Matt, I'll stay with you because you actually brought GMI to First Advantage. So tell us all about it and why did you feel it was so important to bring here?
Yeah, so GMI, that's the Global Mentorship Initiative. It's a structured career readiness mentorship for first-generation students and students that have limited financial resources around the world. So the goal is to help these young professionals, help develop them and build skill sets that will help them stand out in the job market. The cool thing about the program, it's completely structured from end to end. So the sessions are all laid out from the lesson plan to the follow-up. So the level of effort on the materials and the prep is pretty low. And you can really focus your energy on the time with the mentee. And ultimately, it amounts to about an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes a week. So, Caitlin, to your question, jumping back to 2022, I was actually introduced to GMI through my network. Again, the importance of a network, which we'll talk about in a bit. They were, I think, in year 3 of the mission and had really started to build momentum. And at the time, they were serving a couple hundred students around the world. And for context, now GMI is serving about 10,000 students around the world. They've really, really grown and scaled the program. It's just amazing. And being somebody who had benefited so much from mentorship and enjoyed being a mentor myself, I immediately was bought in on the mission. And then when I took a deeper dive into the structure, it really felt like this was something that First Advantage could get behind. So I brought it to our CHRO at the time. He agreed it really was a good fit for FA. With our global footprint, conceptually, we could provide mentors around the world and really put a renewed focus on volunteerism here at FA through FA Cares. So it really did make sense for all involved to opt in. So having met with the founders and executives at GMI, I can confirm these are genuine people and they're doing good for all the right reasons. It comes from their heart. And that's really clear in every interaction I had with the GMI team. And getting more specific about this, when I reflect on my initial mentorship, it's doing it right now. Every time it brings a smile to my face. The young lady that I mentored was just wrapping up college and trying to navigate those next steps. And so many of us have been there, whether you went to college or not. It's taking that next step in adulthood that really is an opportunity to look for guidance. And she had a degree, or she was about to graduate with a degree that she wasn't sure she wanted to use yet, at least not yet. And so we used the curriculum to guide us, but life also happens, and we had to navigate that as well. We would start talking about LinkedIn if that was the topic of the week and end up looking for a marketing internship for her. And no, she was actually graduating with a law degree. So looking for marketing internships, really tapped into, not ready to do that just yet, but can you help me do this? You know, and you don't get to pick the moments, but when Nana gave me a couple that were, that'll be with me forever. I can say that about several people that I've had the good fortune to mentor. And there's plenty of folks on the FA team that are consistently mentoring through GMI and giving themselves to the mission. That being said, GMI can always use more mentors. So if you're interested, and I encourage you to explore GMI. It's a wonderful mission, and it's driven by a fantastic organization.
Yes, I was talking to the team before this episode, and they were like, come on, we got to get more mentors. We hope Matt can really drive it home for us. So I think you did.
I hope so,
love it. And I think it's great. It truly is an awesome program. So props to you and the team, you know, for you to bring it here and then obviously to keep it going. Really tremendous growth, as you've explained. So we love to see that. So alongside GMI, we have MAP, which all four of us are part of, which is tremendous to have four spokespeople on today's episode in regards to that. So this is First Advantage's mentorship program, where you are paired up internally with your colleagues, being a mentor and or a mentee. So I just wanted to get, your quick round robin from the three of you of what your experience has been with MAP. So Rebecca, I'll start with you.
So my experience here with MAP has been, incredibly, positive from our very first, from Alex and my first session, going over my goals and where I want to go and what I want to do with, with everything that she's given me, has really, really just been, fantastic. And hearing her journey and how she's gotten to where she's at, it's amazing, just to interact with someone on a level that, it's a safe place. You can say anything you want. You can build on anything that you want. You can be halfway through the mentorship program and say, hey, well, I really did want to do this, but this is, management is looking like more of what I want to, get into. And you have the resources, that are given to you to really, really, really grow. It's a great program. I think everybody should, would benefit from it.
Yeah, I think so as well. I do love touching on the fact that there are a lot of resources. It's not just, hey, here's your buddy, and then you guys kind of do it by yourself. There's a lot of guidance. There's a lot of check-ins. There's a whole website dedicated to it where we're in there and we're all working. So, and you get to track your growth and the progress. And it's really, and I like that you said it was a safe space too, because I do feel that way. Alex, what has your experience been with MAP?
Yeah, just as incredible. I am fortunate enough to have experienced it from both sides as well. So I was a mentee and I am a mentor now as well. As Rebecca said, it is the safe space. And I felt that with every single mentor that I had two of them and they were absolutely incredible. I was lacking at first going into mentorship, being very new to the business and being very new to leadership. So I did need a lot of mentoring. I did need a lot of coaching from them. And I really did feel empowered by them to pursue my goals and to improve my career, go where I want to be. So yeah, and being mentor was just as incredible for me as well. Just working with Rebecca, being able to connect with her, again, pursue her, just go after her dreams and career goals. She's incredible. And I'm so, so proud from everything that she's achieving as well. So you're doing so well, Rebecca. And
thank you so much, Alex.
Highly love of MAP in general as well.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Love having the both of you on. Oh, it's great to see. And yes, real life here, people. This is a real life mentor and mentee. So that is great. And Matt, you're a part of MAP too. So what has your experience been like?
Indeed. So I was a mentor, and as expected, it was another great experience. The good thing about MAP is it does provide curriculum as well. So, like was referenced, the safe space. I found that once that comfort and trust was established, we talked about a lot of different topics. Certainly we followed the curriculum, but more often than not, that conversation definitely veered into other things about professional development, about career readiness, about taking next steps in one's career, about building a network and finding access so you can advance yourself. I think First Advantage has done a phenomenal job developing the MAP program. And for those that haven't done it and you are internal here at First Advantage, definitely take part.
I can definitely attest to that. It's been such an incredible couple of months. I think I started in October or November. We're here in January, and I'm just having the best time with my mentee. So, and Alex, I attest to you with, I'm so proud of my mentee as well, and we're making some great progress. So quickly to round out, this part of the episode, Alex and Rebecca, I'm interested in hearing just one skill set that you feel like you've grown so far. So Alex, I'll start with you.
One specific skill set.
Yeah.
I feel like I learned so much that it's quite difficult to just pinpoint it to one, but I think I will go back to maybe to my first mentorship, because it was my first, and that was probably where the most learning happened for me as well. I had a mentor that was coaching me on how to present. I was very new to leadership. I felt that it was incredibly stressful for me whenever I had to get the PowerPoint out, present it to people, especially to senior stakeholders. So my mentor, she was giving me weekly tasks. And my last task with her was to actually create a presentation and present to her entire team that I never met before. And I remember joining the call and I couldn't speak at first. I was so nervous. But then I think actually that stepping outside of my comfort zone that's something that actually helps me to gain the confidence, and I don't struggle with it as much now. So I will be forever thankful and grateful for the experience, even though it felt like torture at the time. So I think just presenting skills as a specific skill for myself, that would be something that I will remember forever.
Yeah, great skill set to advance on and to get better at. I think we all can do better from a presenting standpoint and building out PowerPoint presentations. I'm sorry. So you gave us two things. Those are two skills within itself. But yeah, I do love to hear that. So Rebecca, what is kind of one thing that stands out to you right now, a skill that you've been able to develop?
Pretty much my communication. Before this program, I would not be sitting here live going through this. There would have been no way. Coming up to this live, it's been a challenge, a very big challenge. My communication within my department, with my managers, with Alex, everyone that on my daily day, I am able to, be more professional. And Alex can talk like no one else I've ever known. I mean, she just runs with it. And I want to grow to her level of communication in my development journey. So I would say definitely communication and coming out of my shell, going out there, putting myself out there.
Yeah. Hey, that's also a great skill. And for you to be here live with us today, you're probably like, oh my goodness, but it's a huge step and it's a huge accomplishment for the three of you. So again, I know I said thank you at the beginning, but I'll say thank you throughout the episode just for being here with me today, talking about such an important topic and talking about internally at First Advantage. We do actually have a question that came through on Facebook of how we heard about these programs. So I will say, our communications team does a great job internally posting through the various outlets that we have. It's our manager emails, it's just regular emails out to the company, our intranet, our, Engage, our teams. We have so many communications going out, and even being a part of other programs like our EIGs, the SOAR program. There's so much cross promotion in all of those that this is where this kind of gets the word out. But I will say after today, clearly we're talking about the programs externally. So we're going to be talking about them more internally. exactly. So hopefully we get some more engagement. And I think, the three of you are doing a great job selling it, if I will say that. So the next topic I want to dive into is that transition from mentee to mentor. So Alex, you are our shining star here because you have a great story, or a little case study that we're going to show here. So what actually made you decide to move into mentorship after being a mentee?
Well, I'm not gonna lie, it was a very, very big step for me. I think I was at the stage of my career where I was ready to push myself more. I've got a big team that I need, and it felt like natural step, especially that I have been mentee myself and I know how rewarding it can be and how much you can learn from it as well. But I was so nervous as well before my first session with Rebecca. I remember joining the session, and I think there was this little part of me where the imposter syndrome kicked in, and I was thinking, oh my goodness, am I going to be any good at this? Am I going to be able to lead her, navigate her through, what she wants to achieve and be able to help her? Because I knew that I had big expectations from mentorship program when I was doing it. So, and there was parts of me when I was joining the mentorship program as mentee, I didn't really know what I want to get out of it. And both of my mentors, they were so incredible in navigating me and bringing my strengths out and being able to tell me, okay, you can work on this and we can do this. So I was like, will I be able to do that? Will I be able to help her? So yeah, definitely nerves were there. But very quickly, I realized that it's not as much about telling her what to do or just passing my knowledge on. It was more about having conversations with Rebecca, just connecting on a personal level and being able to explore the opportunities and possibilities that were out there. And look at Rebecca now. I mean, I will be talking about it all hour today. She's doing so well. We started meeting only a couple of months ago, and the things that we achieved already are incredible. She's involved in many projects now. She is so confident in her conversations with her manager as well. I'm so proud. So and also I believe that as a mentor, I can learn a lot from my mentee as well. And I think I learned a lot from Rebecca. So I'm able to take all them learnings and apply them to my teams. I feel like I'm so much better in my one-to-ones with my teams, where I can navigate them through their career conversations and their development as well. So I am incredibly happy that I decided to do that.
It's a great story that you have, Alex. And I think you're correct in that it's a huge step to take. And that imposter syndrome can creep in. Am I going to be good at this? Will my mentee actually learn something? But that also goes back to why communication in like a mentorship program is critical, because you both have to feed off of each other and get things off of each other. So maybe it's not working out, or maybe there's something that your mentee like still needs, something extra, things there. That's where the communication comes into play. And clearly you're doing a great job. Rebecca's doing a great job. So we'll definitely hear more about that. But so the transition from mentee to mentor might seem, like that's like the normal next step. But Matt, you've been around mentorship for a long time. Do you feel that people just feel the need to move on to mentor because, they're positioned to do so? And then do you have any advice for people who just want to continue to just get mentored and just be a mentee?
Yeah. So I think when the question is initially asked, should you be a mentor? Well, my default is yes, you should. The reality is not everybody wants to be, and that's okay too. My position is if you have something to give, and so many do, why not share your experience, your wisdom, your expertise with those who can benefit from it the most? But not everybody needs to do that. It really has to come from a place internal, right? You have to have that intrinsic desire to help. And if you do, then go ahead and scratch that proverbial itch and get involved. That being said, if you've been a mentee, there is no obligation to go become a mentor. Obviously, we have a great proof of concept here of what can happen when you do take that step. But it's okay if you don't. It's okay to be in a continuous learning situation and seek out new mentors. My only advice in that scenario is don't hesitate to give those thank yous. It doesn't have to be, immediate, though that's a good time to do it as well. But as I talked about earlier, if something happens, reach back out, send them a note. It will mean more than you know to just let your mentors know that they had an influence, or something that they told you would happen did happen, or even it's something that they warned you about. Well, it came to fruition. So again, just circling back, if you can mentor and you have a desire to mentor, please do. But you're under no obligation, if you've been a mentee, to jump onto the other side of the table.
Yeah, it's great advice. And I think one of the most powerful traits I think someone can have is the want and desire to continue to learn. So if that is what you are, you are in a mentee position and you are looking for feedback, you are looking to develop, and you are looking to learn. So not many people are like that. So I think that's super powerful. And that is someone's trait, that continuous learning, that drive to just get better and better. So Rebecca, to close out this part, what are your future plans from a mentorship perspective? Do you see yourself evolving? Any goals for the future?
Absolutely. I would love
Yay.
to take on a role as a mentor in the future. Not right
Sure.
now. I need to work on myself a little bit more, but yes, I would love to be a mentor and inspire someone else and help them develop and grow, personally and professionally, just like Alex has done for me and the program. So yeah, I'm excited for that chapter to come, later on down the road.
Well, hey, later on down the road, a year from now, it'll be National Mentorship Month again. We can get everyone back, and we'll see where we are a year from now. But so everyone mark that on the calendar, January 2027. So I want to, the final topic that I want to dive into, and I think this ties directly back to mentorship, is the power of networks. So really emphasizing, networking inside, outside, First Advantage, and how this really does benefit, like it's a mentor benefit. So Matt, I'll start with you. Why is growing networks beyond your traditional team essential?
Yeah, I think it starts with access to knowledge beyond your role, which can lend itself to better performance, better understanding of the business or the industry you work in, access to people that can help you in a situation or big picture advance your career. Staying with that access theme here, it's really about getting to information and solutions that can aid you in a time of need, or actually help you when you have the wind behind you. The more people you have in your network, the greater the opportunity to share knowledge is. And ultimately, that's going to go both ways. And even from today's discussion, I mentioned that I was introduced to GMI through my network. So, there's a real life example of, because I knew somebody that knew somebody at GMI, they introduced us because they thought we might get along well. And that's really a concrete example of what can happen. That could lead to a promotion. That could lead to a new job opportunity. That could lead to a new place in your community where you can serve and give. So if you have access to new people, go ahead and take advantage of that, whether it's a networking event, whether it's internally at our EIG groups or other intercorporate happenings. Take full advantage of the opportunity to meet new people and grow your network. You really never know where the impacts will come, but if you grow the network, you have an opportunity to realize it.
I love that. Whoever's watching, clip that section out of this episode. That was like mic drop moment right there. But I agree. My network can't be big enough. And the realization of that comes from, you're not going to have all the answers, and that's okay. But someone down the road will have that for you. And if they don't have the answer, they know someone who has it. They can connect you. So just your network, it can't be big enough. So keep just growing and networking as much as you can. Big advice there. So Alex, how has networking expanded your visibility and understanding across different departments?
Yeah, so I think it helped me understand how different parts of the business connect. I've not always been the best with networking. I think it's so easy to just stay within your team and to speak to people that you're comfortable with. It's not always easy to get out there and speak to people that you don't know. And that is something that I actually worked on very much with my second mentor that I had. She got me in touch with people that, again, were incredible for my development as well. And that collaborating with teams outside of operations and just my department gave me much deeper understanding of how decisions are made, and also how my team's work is impacting the bigger picture. It's, I think, increased my visibility within the company as well, because suddenly people started to reaching out to me, and they started to recognize my name, and I was being involved in different projects and conversations, and even today's live session. So those opportunities, they became available, and they helped me grow. And I don't think that would have happened if I stayed only with my team and within my comfort zone. There was a particular example where my previous mentor, she got me in touch with a person who was working, he's in data team, and it was just meant to be an introduction conversation. And we got on so well, and we started talking about our projects, and a few months down the line, he saved me so much time on reporting that I was doing manually for my team that I still use until today. It's incredible. Just one simple conversation completely changed the way that I do my work day to day as well.
Yeah, what a wonderful example. I have very similar experiences to you. You know, early on in my career, that's all I wanted was to understand, no matter what company I was working for, how do you understand actually the complexities behind everything? Because, I mean, I work in marketing, so sometimes you don't know all of the behind the scenes from maybe for us, a fulfillment perspective, operations perspective, but getting in and finding these new people and making those connections really help. And at the end of the day, it makes me do my job better when I'm understanding the full story, everything there. So really, really good example. I will say we have a comment on Facebook, and I love to hear this. It's from Michelle. She works First Advantage. I've had the best experience with my mentor. I am beyond appreciative to have been a part of this program. So I just love, the stories you all three are sharing. Now we've got comments coming through live here of everyone else expressing their gratitude and their excitement around MAP, GMI. So yeah, keep the comments coming. We love to see the positivity here. So my final question is for all of you. So what advice do you have for employees who want to start building, that big old network, but don't really know how to? Rebecca, I'll start with you.
I would say start small. Even if you start within your department, reach out to your managers, find out their story, talk to them, ask them questions, let them know what you're interested in. If you want to cross train, if you want to go to a different platform and learn, just, see what it's all about. That way that you're putting yourself out there. You're making your managers aware, or your coworkers, hey, this is something I'm interested in. I want to go see what the FA platform's all about. I want to meet people with my mentorship program in regards to what my development is and what I'm looking for in the future. I enjoy training my coworkers, and I've had a lot of options to do that within my department. Alex has connected me with different individuals, people that I would never have thought of, or even reached out to on my own. So start small, ask questions, get yourself out there, and don't be afraid.
Yeah. No one's being afraid. We got this.
You got it.
Yeah, you do. And I know I said, earlier, like my network can't be big enough. That might scare some people, but you can start small. That's phenomenal advice to our audience watching now, to our internal colleagues here at First Advantage, that it can start small. And then as you grow, as you start, asking the questions, like you said, it just gets, bigger and bigger, and it's tailored to the needs of what you need your network to do. So Matt, you're up next. What is some advice for someone that wants to grow their network?
Yeah, I think both Alex and Rebecca nailed it. It's reach out to other departments, reach out to other functions within your organization, and that's a great first step. And it can start small. You don't have to go from 1 to 100 overnight.
Yeah.
Forge quality relationships. Take the time to build the foundation and trust. That's going to lead to better outcomes for everybody involved. So, it could be searching out a group of similar interests. So internally, that could be an EIG or FA Cares here at FA. Externally, same thing applies. Find similar interests, something in your community that gets you energized, and go meet people there. Maybe it's a group that has a similar function at their particular organization. Maybe it's an HR business group, or maybe it's an operations business group. But if you can find commonalities to build on, that's a really good first step. And, with technology today, you can certainly do it in person. That's wonderful. But you have tools like LinkedIn and other grouping technologies that can bring like-minded folks together. And that can really help you build out the network exponentially and start small, but grow big.
Yeah, that was one of my pieces of advice to my mentee right now, learning about, because the individual was interested in learning, about different career paths, different types of careers. And I just said, look at your network now, your friends, your family. What do they do for work? Talk to them. What does their day-to-day look like? And then you'll see, oh, we have that department here at First Advantage. That will help me understand. So you're right, really just kind of leaning in, currently, who do you have? Find out more information, find similar interests. That's also a great piece of advice as well. And virtually and in person, I think that, it's different for us over the past couple of years being more in this virtual environment, but it does open the opportunities a little bit more, whether you want to be in person or you want to do things remotely. So honestly, great episode so far. You guys have answered these questions beautifully, and there has been so much advice, insight, just tips into our current programs, mentorship as a whole. I've learned a lot from all three of you, and I love that all of you are sharing your real-time stories. And I think our audience is definitely taking a lot of this, a lot from this, as well. So before we wrap up, I do have one final key takeaways for the three of you. I just want to let our audience know, if you have any final questions, I would go ahead and send them through on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube right now before we end the show. So as we wait for any questions to come through, I do want to just grab some final thoughts, key takeaways from the three of you. So my question is simple. What's one message you want viewers to take away about mentorship? And Alex, I will start with you.
Yeah, I would probably say that if you get the opportunity to be mentored or to mentor someone, just go for it. I think it's so easy to overthink whether, am I ready? Am I experienced enough? Am I confident enough to do this? But I think the growth actually happens when you're already in the experience and not before it. So, I don't think you need to have everything figured out before doing it. It's really about just being open to the conversation, to connecting with people, to new experiences, challenges, and you don't know what you will get out of it until you're in it. Yeah. So I think that's what's so valuable in MAP program. So just go for it. That's my advice.
Absolutely. Rebecca, what is one message you'd like our audience to take away today?
Well, I encourage anyone who wants to grow personally or professionally to join the MAP program. The guidance, support, connections that you gain are incredibly beneficial. And, from my aspect, it has really, really helped me grow and develop. So, get in there and join. Start off as a mentee if you don't want to be a mentor, but just get out there. Put yourself out there.
Well, I think we did it, because another comment on Facebook, love hearing everyone's stories and experiences. I can't wait to see more about joining the program. So there we go. At least we got one person. I know we got more. Matt, what is your final message for our audience today?
Well, I actually want to stack on something that Alex said. You don't have to be perfect to be ready. If you have experience or wisdom to share, then you're in a good position. So I would say, if you can, please do. You may never know how you can lift somebody until you put yourself in a position to do so. And you know what? The rewards can run deep, and the results can be life-changing for both parties. So put yourself out there. If you have a need, if you have something that's driving you to give, this is a great way to give back.
I love it. Well, I must say, this is definitely one of my favorite episodes of FA Live. Just so much to go around and so much information, so much valuable insights. Definitely thank you. I'm going to say thank you to the three of you again. But I do want to encourage, if you are an FA employee, to enroll in MAP or explore GMI opportunities. Again, all four of us are a part of this. So if you ever have anything, you can reach out to all of us. This session is live right now, but it will be on demand. So feel free to share it with your friends, your colleagues, your family. It'll be on demand on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook as soon as I hit end live show. And really, today, was real because of the three of you. You shared your real life stories. You shared your journeys within mentorship, both, with the actual programs that First Advantage offers, but also other external experiences you've had as well. Our audience was super engaged, so that clearly shows. Just a really awesome episode. So at this time, we're done here, and it was really awesome. So I'd like to thank our audience for tuning in live or on demand. And listen, Matt, Alex, Rebecca, phenomenal job, and I truly do appreciate it. Thank you to the three of you.
Thank you for having us.
Indeed.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, that is it. So thank you, everyone, and we'll see you next time.